Hi, I'm Tony, this is Slack, welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we're going to be reviewing the Nixon V2 by EHPro?
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 EHPro.
Anyway.
Following on from the success of the original Nixon, EHPro have brought out the V2. Now, I love the look of this straight away with the glass bell cap, this stylish blue O-ring, and the airflow control. Yeah, I thought it looked really cool, so we'd give it a go. So we're going to give it a quick review for you now, because it's not like you say about a dripper, really. Let's dive down and have a look at the unboxing. Right, let's unbox the Nixon V2 from EHPro, EPro, however you say it. Quick tour around the outside, obviously little window here, see your device, and there's Nixon, who is definitely not a crook. So you've got your security seal there, information about how the device works, some general cautions and EHPro branding. We've got our device, and hidden in the back we have some supplies. We've got a rubbery drip tip, very rubbery, some cotton and some pre-built coils, O-ring screwdrivers and screws, which is pretty cool. Right, let's have a look at the actual device itself. Obviously it's got this glass bell dome cap on it, nice see-through there so you can see what's going on. From the outside you have a screw adjustable 510 down there. You have air inlets here. Now these air inlets, if you're holding the correct bit, allow you to open airflow through directly to the coils, which is pretty cool. Let's open up so we can get a better look at the deck. So there's one really thick blue O-ring around there. It looks really cool, and it does make an amazing seal. That was a fight to get off. Coming inside, you can obviously see the air holes here in their open position, which I'm struggling to turn. There we go, closed. Now I can see straight away the first problem. It's all well and good that you can close these air holes so you're not accidentally going to leak. And what you've basically got here is cups that are going to collect your e-juice. Now they're not going to leak out when it's closed with the airflow position enclosed, but you've got to open it again to be able to use the device, and when you do that it's just going to ditch juice out of these holes in the bottom straight over your device. So we'll let you know how that gets on. The actual holes are nice and big, and you've got this really wonderful dual centre post. Look at that, it's a chunky boy, that is. Really good quality. It's a nice build quality. It could do with a little cleaning, which is fine because I always clean my devices before using them anyway. So let's get this cleaned and throw a build on it and see what it's got.
Okay, so first up on the hit list is airflow for the device. In testing, the airflow on it is quite wide open. It is not a lot of resistance.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a direct lung hit nice and easy. I mean, when I was looking at the air holes up close, I thought they were quite small and it was going to be a problem, but actually, yeah, I mean, it just goes. Another thing that's cool with the airflow is you just turn the top. It's a complete faff when it's not on a unit. Once it's on there, you just turn that top, turn it on and off.
That's really
cool.
trick.
I like that. It's really easy to use. Now, one thing I will say about the airflow is where the airflow holes are, right below the coils, you're going to end up with juice dumping out onto your mod. I've had it so many times. Now, I'm really messy. If you're someone who's careful with applying juice, it's going to be less of a problem. But if you're someone like me who hates dumping juice over your mod and is pretty careless with it, this is going to annoy you. So it's just something to be mindful of. Also, while we're talking about that airflow, it has the sort of direct to coils airflow from underneath, so there's not a long journey for that air, and it hits straight onto the coils. Now, if you get your coils built nice and low to the airflow, as with all devices like this, you get a lot more flavour out of it, which is pretty cool. So, having talked about the airflow, let's just give it a wide open direct to lung hit.
Because we all love a demonstration.
Now this is quite a low build for me because, well, I've tried a few builds in here, but I like the sort of fairly lower build. When I say low, it's 0.42. You know, some people that's not low. To me, that is. There's just tons of wraps of Cantho and it's fairly big just to see what it can do. But yeah, I mean, good flavour there, and yeah, the air really good.
Do you want me to have a?
Yeah, I think you should for science
demonstration in science.
Yeah. Still good second hand. Right, let's talk about the juice well in this. There is a juice well. It's not enough for me. Coming from something, earlier things like the tugboat, where it was just like a nice cup for your juice to sit in and your wick sit, you lose space for this air coming in and all your posts everywhere. It eats into your juice well space, and I like to use a lot of cotton in my drippers because I often have them in the car with me and they often fall over, so if it's just pure juice it dumps everywhere. When you've got a lot of cotton in here, you're going to have to drip directly onto your cotton. There's kind of a bit of a gap between the posts, but not really. It's fairly tight in there to get access to your juice well. So yeah, juice well could be bigger, but
Moving on to the ease of access to building, I mean, you pop the top off, it's a nice open access, it's got dual centre posts, which is always nice, and they're really good quality. I mean, I've had cheaper clones where, the centre posts have been of questionable construction, and after a while, I think we had one that started spinning, which was really fucking useful.
Yeah.
But everything on this is just really good.
Yep, and screw adjustable centre pin as well, to help lock that shit down. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Even the screws on it are nice, which you'd expect from an authentic device. So yeah, okay. The sturdiness of this device, a lot of drippers, the top comes off, bits come off, and it doesn't hold together very well. This has got this giant blue O-ring around there which holds his glass bell cap on, and it fits together really well. It's like I said, it's a bit of a pig to manipulate stuff when it's not on a unit, but when it's on there, it sits on there really well. It feels solid. Obviously, being glass, you're not going to be able to throw this about, but you shouldn't do that anyway. So yeah, I think it's pretty sturdy, especially for a glass unit.
Going back to what Slack said about the sturdiness of the device and the O-ring around it, the O-ring is actually that strong that it will support the weight of Snow Wolf. And if you watch one of our earlier videos, you'll find out how much Snow Wolf weighed. If that interests you, leave us a comment down below, because that will tell us that you found the video. Okay, so the drip tip for this device, right? It comes with this glass bell cap, and that's it. It also comes with a little rubber adapter, which is crap. It's like the very cheap things you get, which I thought was a good idea for when I was driving. Got these rubber drip tips, and silicone, but they're not great. It's really annoying though. While this is perfectly fine, and this is what I use it like this, and it's absolutely fine. If you wanted to chuck a drip tip on, it's so close. See, it okay, it looks a little bit weird, but it's just like 0.5 millimetre too wide a bore to take a standard drip tip, which is a shame. I think they missed a trick there. That said, while we're talking about it being 0.5 millimetre too wide a bore for it to take a standard drip tip, this is the extra blue drip tip, which sort of doesn't quite colour match with the dirty O-ring. But yeah, even this wants to just hop off as well. So yeah, a bit of a shame there. But the standard glass belt is it's fine. Feels nice. On the subject of the drip tip, the thing to take into consideration is that it's a bell cap, so it is all one piece, the body and the drip tip. So if you're rocking it at a high wattage, you're going to be pumping a lot of heat through there. It's going to start warming up the body of it, and then that, because it's all one glass piece, will then transfer to the mouth drip tip, and then that will transfer to your lips. Yeah, I mean, this isn't going to happen if you're a sort of gentle user of the device, if you have the odd hit here and there. But, I like drippers to just hit them hard. That's why I prefer drippers to tanks, because, direct juice on the cotton, it doesn't, you have a lot more control. You don't need to wait as much. With this, you do, like, you take 4 big hits in a row, that glass, you're going to know it when you touch your lips the next time. But, for regularly
casual usage, it's
Okay,
fine.
we've already mentioned that the 510 connector is screw adjustable. It's a really nice copper 510. I can't remember if we showed it in the up close. If not, sorry. But yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, happy.
In terms of flavour for you, I mean, it's quite subjective, isn't it? But from our personal perception of a juice that we know how it should taste, it's good.
Yeah, it is good. I think that's a fair sort of summary of it. Yeah, it helps where you can adjust your airflow, and it's got that bell cap, so that's pretty cool. I was kind of expecting a little bit more, but you know, it is good. Good is the summary. So what I found with the Flavour is turning the airflow down a little bit off full. Now I prefer a big open airflow thing, but you know, it's just one of those things. You get better flavour with slightly restricted airflow. I've turned that down. I'm going to give it a hit now. The flavour is, yeah, this is it. See all that flavour? That's all flavour. You can't really display flavour, but yeah, it is good. It is good.
Good.
Closely tied to the flavour is obviously the vapour production, you know, how big a cloud you can blow. Now, I tend to do slightly smaller builds than I usually do. I don't go for the crazy builds on this to try and get the flavour experience and to not explode the glass in my mouth. So it's not going to be a mega cloud chasing device, you know. I mean, you kind of got enough room to do it in there, but I don't think it would suit the device. So yeah, vapour production though is good.
Wait for it. Good.
Good. Yeah, we censored Tony out, so yeah. It's good.
Nextly, how much is this going to sort of set you back? So, in the UK, for an authentic, you're looking sort of early £20 sort of mark.
Yeah, which is really good for an authentic. At that price point, yeah, it's sort of a no-brainer to go for the authentic. The build quality is great on it, so for the money, I think it's good value for money.
I'm not going to tell you where we got it from.
No,
This is a closely guarded secret.
typically.
In summing up about the Nixon V2, we go to Slack now to find out what the pros and cons of the device are.
Okay, as usual, I'm going to start with cons. The first one for me is I'm a messy juicer. I juice everywhere, and like already just filming this, I've had to clean the mod off a couple of times where it's dumped out the air holes because I'm a messy bastard. If that is something that really bothers you and you're prone to doing, this will do it. So be warned in advance. You know, you can tell just by looking at the airflow, you know that it's just going to dump straight on there. Obviously, you can turn your airflow off. But the only problem with turning your airflow off to stop the juice dumping out is you've got to turn it back on and then it dumps out anyway. So it's not like there's any with the airflow completely off. The juice doesn't go anywhere. It sits in the little cups that were formerly airflow. There's no additional air holes for this, so you know if it's in there and will eventually dump out on your unit. That said, if you're careful, it'll be all right. Another con's going to be the drip tip. I mean, it's so close to fitting a standard drip tip that it seems criminal that they didn't make it so it does, you know. But then again, this glass bell is perfectly fine. Obviously, being a glass bell, you're going to be cleaning it a lot if something like that bothers you, because it just will always gunk up with juice and vape, you know. It comes with the territory. There's nothing wrong with the design of that. That's just how it works. And I guess the last con is probably going to be the size of the juice well, where it's restricted because of the airflow, you know, and most of the juice goes into your airflow. Yeah, it could have done with a little bit just deeper at the base to get a bit more juice in it. But again, it's moving on to the pros of the device. Okay, first thing I'm going to go with is the airflow. This airflow controller is really cool, and when it's fully open, you get a good draw from it. For quite a small unit with just these two little air holes, it is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. You know, it is pretty good. Talking of pretty good, the flavour and vapour production also pretty good from it. If you adjust your coils down close to your hole, you do get a nice kick for flavour there. And the last sort of pro of this is from EHPro is this build quality. You know, that the centre post, the side post, the screws, it is really sort of solid build quality. Actually, no, one more pro is definitely the cost. You know, 20 odd quid for an original in the UK. That's really good. It means you don't need to go out looking at clones. I suppose if they're £6, then maybe, but yeah, it's good. It's coming at the right price point, I think. You know, it's not one of these. Oh, we're going to just release this £60 for an RDA that, you know, is a couple of quid to make or something. Yeah, they've priced it well.
That about wraps it up for this review of the Nixon V2 by.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, why not? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you're seeing, what we're doing for you, drop us a like, subscribe. We need that. We enjoy that. We get off on that. Do you want me to take your bit as well?
I am not a crook. No, I couldn't get the whole review in without doing a Nixon impression. Anyway, yeah, we're quite chatty, so if you've got any experience with this or any other stuff you want to talk to us about, just hit us up in the comments or follow us on the social medias, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. But for now, thanks for watching Smog Vlog.
In testing, it's really, not really.
Let's zoom in. Zoom. Oh, cunt fucking arseholes. So, let's get this cleaned and throw a build on it and see what it's got. Or throw it on the floor.
Just chuck it on the floor.
Sturdiness.
That's what that says.
Yeah.
I thought it said stress bones. Thank you.
Y'all jealous?
Nom.
Right. On with that bit. Good cheese.
I concur.
But again. Moving on to the...
Moving
along. Have you got something to hit on? No. Or we just get hit on a cheese string?
Stop licking the camera. Subscription service.
I think we'll get the wrong sort of subscribers. It's done.
It is.